All right, Wills, this is season 3, and I want to start off with a very important question.
Okay, what's up?
How many pull-ups do you think you could do?
Oh, gosh. Well, how much time do I have?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's just say you had to, rattle a bunch off. How many could you do before you failed?
I would say probably at least 75, 80.
You're so full of it. What, 10?
Yeah, maybe 10.
Okay. So have you ever watched the show American Ninja Warrior?
Yeah, I have.
Do you think you could do that obstacle course?
There are parts of it where I think this guy has no business being on this course, when there's other ones I'm like, there's no way I could get over that thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think what's awesome about today's episode to kick off season 3 is we get to interview a ninja, Karen Sabo.
A ninja.
A local American Ninja Warrior. It's so amazing. Now, here's the big question. If you were taking Karen on mano y mano, or mano y...
Gloves off.
Yeah. Who do you think would win?
Well, I think for reasons that you're about to learn about in this episode, she would absolutely decimate me.
Oh, yeah, she'd totally crush you.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
Because I podcast and she does American Ninja Warrior.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So, guys, we're really excited. This is season 3, as Justin said. This is our 12th episode that we've ever recorded.
And you know what I'm excited about?
What?
I think more than just our moms listen to our podcast.
Who would have thought?
Not me.
Yeah.
It's so good.
You know, this episode is going to be filled with an amazing guest. Karen's a wonderful person. We can't wait for you to meet her. And we also have a number of exciting guests that are also going to be joining us through the rest of season 3, right?
Yeah, we have many of those episodes already recorded. We're busy editing them, and we have many more yet scheduled. So this season, like we did last year, we committed to more episodes than the year before, and this year we're hoping to get, at least one a month. So please stick with us and enjoy today's show.
Karen's early life was fairly unremarkable, where she spent her time hanging out with friends in a small midwestern town and playing a couple different sports as much as she could.
Grew up in Wheaton,
Okay.
which is a theme here at Thomas.
Yeah.
I'm the only South Sider. Everybody else here seems to be on north side of Wheaton. Graduated from Wheaton Warrenville South in 1995. Ran cross country, played soccer. Was recruited for both in college, but soccer was more my passion.
Yeah.
I'm more Coach Stacy, my cross country coach from high school, who I still keep in touch with. He'll get a chuckle when I say this, but he knew that I was doing cross country to stay in shape for soccer.
Yeah.
Sorry, Coach. I love you though.
That's right. That's pretty true most of the ways.
Yeah. But had a great deal of success with cross country in high school and had a great time. And as a kid, you don't appreciate running like you do as an adult.
Right.
But we managed to have one heck of a time. As painful as cross country could be.
Yeah.
Our practices, we had a blast. So
I'm sure people do grow up dreaming of being a famous long distance runner, like the Olympics or something.
Yeah.
But maybe because I'm a team sport guy,
Yeah.
I would think that most people would be like, I want to, play Division I soccer or
soccer's just
Olympics or World
there's a
Cup
little
or
more
whatever.
cachet, I guess, to
Yeah.
it. And so I played at Arizona State.
Go Sun Devils.
Go Sun Devils, that's right.
So
Yeah.
why ASU? Of the schools that looked at you, why did you pick ASU?
I wanted something different, and I knew that I was going to leave Illinois to go to school. And I don't know, as a high school kid, I had in my head, I need to go 8 states away from Illinois. And how I picked up that number is arbitrary. There really was no rationale. But no, I figured that was the time of your life to really get out and try something different.
Will, so you and I were Division III athletes.
Yeah.
Your career was much more successful than mine, since I really just had 2 practices. But think about Division III versus Division I.
Yeah, the difference is huge.
Yeah, it's like galaxies apart. And so Karen, she began to blossom as an athlete at ASU, but she had to learn how to balance academics and her athletic career.
And that is not easy.
So did you know any of the other athletes on any of the other teams?
I did. What was kind of great about ASU is it's such a big school, right? Going to a university that's the size of your hometown can be a little daunting. But as an athlete, they they organized it in a way that you were pretty much clustered with other athletes in your major. So, like Pat Tillman, I got to know him pretty well because we were both marketing majors. So we had a lot of our classes together, did group projects together.
For those of you who may not know, Pat Tillman is somewhat of a legend in the football and military circles. I had the pleasure of living in Tempe when he was playing, and he was an absolute animal on the field. Following an incredible, successful career at ASU, and then the Cardinals.
And at free safety from Arizona State University, number 40, Pat Tillman.
Pat Tillman's life took an unexpected turn.
Following the September 11 terrorist attacks, Pat turned down a lucrative NFL contract to serve as an Army Ranger when he was inspired to serve his country. Pat was killed in a friendly fire altercation in 2004.
So, just as a fan and a football fan,
Sure.
and someone who loved Pat Tillman when he was at ASU, was he as intense outside of the arena as he was?
Yes, yeah, and it's interesting. I can think back to one of our marketing classes, actually. It was in a big auditorium. It was like a 400-person class, and he'd always sit in the front row, and he just always had this stern stare on his face. And at one point, the professor paused and was like, "Pat, why do you look like you're just gonna run up here and choke me?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm just concentrating, man. Like, just focused." So he just had that just intense, like, furrowed brow, but he wasn't as intimidating as he looked. Shortly after Pat was killed, his family, his brother-in-law, who was married to his widow Marie's sister, and his widow Marie, they started the Pat Tillman Foundation. Started there in Tempe. It grew to be this incredible foundation. At the onset, checks were pouring in, and they're trying to figure out, okay, what are we going to do with this money? And it has now turned into this just incredible foundation that supports veterans, their spouses, to help them get further their education or go to college for the first time, or a lot of them are going on for advanced degrees, but putting that degree to use to further Pat's legacy through leadership and service. So I've gotten involved. The foundation is actually now based here in Chicago. I'm a junior board member of that foundation, and it's just been an incredible experience just to get to know some of the military scholars. And you spend 5 minutes with any one of them, and you feel like you've done nothing significant with your life. It's something that they've come to call the shame spiral. Because you just look at, you're like, give me an example. I've done nothing.
Like if someone you've talked to and you're like, oh, I'm sliding down the shame spiral head first.
So there's one guy, his name's Ed Woodward. We've become pretty good friends, and become good friends with him and his wife Amanda. They live in Florida. And so he was, and Ed, if Ed ever listens to this, I may mess it up. But he was a fighter pilot, and I'm probably going to miss some details. And he ended up on one of his last flights before getting his certification or final certification, had an injury, brain injury, and so he was told he was never going to be able to fly again. Was, I think, close near death. And he had a twin brother, and his twin brother was in the process of getting his PhD to be an eye doctor. And so Ed was a little depressed that, his lifelong dream, he's now not going to be able to fulfill. Now what do I do? And so he was out celebrating with his brother, passing his medical exams. And so Ed was the driver, and on their way home that night, they got hit by a drunk driver. And Ed was thrown from the car. The car was on fire. He went in to save his brother, and the car exploded. So lost his twin brother, and so then he was really at a loss. and he was talking to his grandfather, and his grandfather's like, you need to go finish what Gene started. So with the help of the Tillman Military Scholars, or the Tillman Military, Pat Tillman Foundation, he is now a military scholar, and with that scholarship, he is now becoming an eye doctor.
As a Division I athlete, Karen learned quickly the demands of balancing schoolwork and her athletic career. And like many who gravitate towards high-pressure environments, the stress was a strong motivator to perform.
I knew I had X number of hours a day to study. So our schedule was very regimented in that we had to have all our classes done by a certain time of day, because then we needed to be in the training room, then out at practice, then weight room, then dinner, then study hall. And so then there's still, a couple hours in the evening. The study hall, I think, went until like 10:30. It was a job. I know there's been plenty of arguments and debates that, college athletes should get paid. I'm not in the camp that they should. I mean, you are there to get an education, is my belief. I don't care where you play football. I don't care how good of a football player you are. Your job is there to be a student. Sure. But don't get me wrong. It is a full-time job being a student athlete. Yeah.
So what position did you play?
Forward.
Forward, all right. So tell me about your career at ASU. Were you able to play right away, or did you have to earn your stripes?
No,
or?
soccer. So the funny thing is, I was there playing soccer and then ended up playing ice hockey.
What?
Which I ended up having a lot more.
The irony.
Right?
Yeah.
I had so much more fun playing ice hockey.
So how long did you play soccer there?
I was there for the first 2 years.
Okay.
And then switched to ice hockey.
Wow.
And that was a lot more fun.
All right, so you go to ASU, you play soccer, you switch to ice hockey, which is fascinating. I did not know that about you.
Yeah.
That's.
Hung out at Al's Cooperstown.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I worked for the Coyotes after I graduated, because I think every college athlete thinks they want to work in professional sports. So
yeah. Especially if you're a marketing major, you want to do sports marketing. Yeah.
So worked for the Coyotes, and we did a lot, because that's when they were still playing at America West. Yeah, I played baseball. Never played softball. I played baseball with the boys up until high school. And then that's when I started playing soccer year-round. Because obviously I was going to go a little further with soccer than I would with baseball. And my hitting really sucked. I'm an offensive player in every other sport but baseball. A little slow coming around on that pitch. Yeah. But yeah, I was always forced to have to elevate my game to play with the guys. And so there's always that drive, there's always that internal competition with them, but with myself too, because I never want to be just average or mediocre. I always want to take it the next step.
Were your parents kind of more supportive or push you along a little bit?
My parents were incredibly supportive, and still are. They had, my brother and I, they had us both in swimming lessons at the Y when we were 6 months old. The old school kind where your parents are in the water with you and they dunk you. And
I thought old school is they just throw you in.
Yeah.
Pray, hope for the best. Yeah.
So, they started us really early in swimming lessons. I did gymnastics, as a 3, 4, 5-year-old, but that quickly ended because I refused to wear leotards. And then also when you finish, you're supposed to do the big, ta-da at the end, and I would just walk off. Refuse to do any of that. My brother and I were both adopted at birth. Okay. Different biological parents.
Was it an open adoption or closed adoption, or?
I have no idea who my birth parents are. I have no desire to know who they are.
Okay.
And we were both raised the exact same way, both given the same amazing opportunities and circumstances. And I went down one path, he went down another.
Justin, you've known Karen for a little while now. What were your first impressions of her?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think before I knew anything about her being a ninja or, an incredible athlete, I knew that she was passionate for veterans, supporting veterans, and getting the word out to help others, honor those who serve us.
Veterans are just an active military. Amazing people for going and doing what they do to give us our freedoms on a daily basis. Really good friend of mine from growing up. He was a West Point guy. Got to know a couple of his friends, and then obviously Pat. So, it's just something that it just came natural to be supportive of.
Was Pat one of the catalysts, you think, that kind of propelled that even more, or is that?
I think so. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say. And so stumbled across RWB, and I can't remember actually. I think it was through. I'm a huge fan of OAR band.
Yeah.
And I think they tweeted something about a run with Team RWB here in Chicago, 4th of July.
Oh yeah. And they had our gear on, and they let us have a booth at their concert.
Yeah. That was our first official run here in Chicago.
Oh wow.
And so I went out to that, and that's where I met Sarah Dean, and Trip Adams, and that was it. I was hooked, and so the three of us kind of got Chicago up and running for Team RWB, and just made some incredible lifelong friends.
As luck would have it, Karen stumbled onto the American Ninja Warrior concept following a lull in her traditional training.
Summer of 2014, I had been having this nagging hip injury, and running was just not doing me any favors. So I was taking a little bit of time off of running, and which was kind of a bummer because that's where we were really in the thick of it with RWB and our weekly runs, and Mike was doing his crazy 100 miles in 4 days, and on a whim did the 25 with him here in Chicago without even thinking twice about it. And
that hurt.
It hurt, but it was fun. Yeah. That was one of the most memorable days. We had a freaking ball out there running. And my hip just wasn't feeling it, and needed to take some time off. And then a friend of mine, my friend Patricia out in Georgia, always been a huge supporter of mine, and she sent me this link to actually Casey Catanzaro's incredible run, the city finals in 2014. She's like, why aren't you doing this? And she's like, this looks like it'd be right up your alley. I had never heard of the show, never seen the show at that point.
Come on.
No. And that's when it was still just kind of on the cusp. Casey was the one that kind of just broke through the ceiling up, made it more of a household name. And so one of my dear friends, Josh Zittimer, he's been my trainer for, since probably 2006 or 7. He lives in New York, and so he sends me my workouts 3 times a week, and I forwarded him the link. I'm like, this is what we're doing. It was just the right time to start, walking away from soccer. And so I put all my efforts into training for this, and I still at that point hadn't found a ninja gym. I hadn't trained on any obstacles. I had no idea what I was doing.
So what's the process? So let's pause here. So the process was you click on the link and you fill out.
So there's I went to the website and I just said I was interested, and then they emailed me, I don't know, that November, and then sent me an application. And then so they wanted to get girls for season 7 just after coming off of Casey's major year. So one of the casting guys called me, and because they can once you start the application, they can tell, or once you've logged in or created it, whatever, they can see that you've started. And he called and he's like, hey, I just want to make sure you're still interested. We haven't, it doesn't look like you've started your application yet. And I had just come back from Hawaii, and I was getting there. I'm kind of, I need that pressure the last minute.
Yeah.
So, but you have to do a video too. You have to submit a video, and then it's a very lengthy application process. It's, 40, 50 essays all about yourself, which is just, I don't enjoy speaking or writing about myself. It's not, I don't know, not comfortable, but, so it was a very long process, and so submitted it, but, looking at everybody else that's been on the show and submitted, I'm like, there's no chance. And then I got a call in March, saying, hey, you've been selected, you're going to Kansas City in 3 weeks to film. And I'm like, oh, shit. Now I need to figure out how to do this.
And he's on here, Matt.
Okay, so hold on. So from the time, so November, you submit your application
I
in November.
submitted it in January.
Okay, so January. So you found out in March. Had you been training?
I mean, just doing my regular workouts.
Oh, so you weren't training particularly for the show?
No, because I still hadn't found a ninja gym. I didn't know Chicago Ninja Academy at that point. Didn't know anybody else doing the sport locally in Chicago.
Yeah.
But I started working with a climbing coach shortly after I submitted, and just worked with a bouldering coach once a week for 3 months, which helped immensely. But still, when I stepped on the stage at 4:45 in the morning, I'd never done an obstacle, and
okay, hold on a second. Hold on. So tell me what this is like. So you fly to Kansas City, right? Mm-hmm. And what do they give you at this point? Do you have any like a welcome packet? Do you have someone that's meeting you there?
There's a flurry of emails that you get beforehand and a few phone calls.
What was your biggest question? Do you remember back then?
No. I think question. What was my question? Like where do we park?
Okay.
Because like minor details like that were left out, because they had, they want you there. So you film on Friday and Saturday. They film the city qualifiers on Friday night, city finals on Saturday night. But they want you there Thursday to do B-roll and hero shots and all that stuff. They don't select everybody for that. I think they select maybe 60 or 80 people of the 120 to do that. And so I was one that they asked to do that. So I needed to be there for B-roll and all that. In Kansas City, the way that it was set up, like we were able to sit out. There's a mound, a berm that we were able to sit on and kind of see the course and watch the course testers, because they have course testers testing it out for the few days prior to shooting, to make sure it's not too hard, not too easy.
And so, would you watch that to try to get hints on how to get through it?
Yeah, because you're not, once you get there, like you don't get to practice. Like what you see on TV, that's your one shot. No do-overs.
No trial runs. So
no trial runs.
Okay. And do you guys? It always seems like the ninjas are talking on the sideline. Like,
yes.
Do you guys share? Like,
yes.
Hey, I fell on this one. Watch out for this.
Yeah, and that's what I learned so quickly about, and what got me so hooked into this sport. Like being there in Kansas City, like you're in the ninja pit for hours, so you have to be there. There's 2 filming times. There's the early one, which is, I think they say 8 o'clock and then 10 o'clock, but you have to, you're there from 6 o'clock on till and you film overnight. So you're in the ninja pit for overnight, and you're just becoming fast friends with everybody. I mean, once you've done it for a year or two, like you know a lot of the people, but as a rookie that year, like I went in not knowing anybody, but came out with some of the best friends, lifelong friends.
So how do you decide what to wear, and do they give you any of that?
So they want you to wear something that's going to look good on TV, bright colors. They say, try not to wear, they say don't wear white. So wear bright colors, nothing with logos. There can be logos on your shoes, but I was going to wear an RWB shirt. I couldn't do that. Unless it's a logo that you've created yourself. And then this year they even said no hashtags.
That's funny.
Shirts, so
times have changed.
Yeah. So and then this year too, they made it so contestants couldn't see the course beforehand. Like when we were in Kansas City watching testers, we were wasn't much of that this year.
Okay, so you get there, you find a place to park, you do your beer roll on Thursday, and so what? Is that where they ask you your story and you kind of tell them some of it, so they can put that little montage together?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, and so are you nervous yet?
I kept waiting for the nerves to kick in, and I'm like, okay, once I get there, I'll start getting nervous. And so doing the B-roll, like the interview, no, I wasn't nervous, but I feel like the interview didn't go well. This is a lot more like our conversation now is a lot more comfortable.
Well, it's always weird to be in front of a camera.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is.
Not that I would know, actually.
This would be, like, this format's so much more comfortable. I don't know what it is about that stupid camera there, because it's no different than just having a conversation.
Well, similar to our podcast where millions of people will listen to this, I'm sure there's that always in the back of your head, whether it's consciously or subconscious.
Not even thinking that. All I could think of, though, was that Seinfeld episode.
Which one?
It's hot under these lights, eh, Seinfeld?
It's pretty hot under these lights, Seinfeld? Pretty hot.
Actually, I'm quite comfortable.
It was scorching.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so you're in the Ninja Pit, and then do they kind of say, "Hey, you're on deck, Sabo"?
So
or
it's
how does that work?
it's a whole hurry up and wait process, the whole evening and overnight, and again, not having anybody to talk to about this going into it, not knowing what to expect, not knowing what to bring. I was out there for 10 hours, and my dad went and got some snacks for me because it was a long night.
Yeah.
And veterans, they're there in their chairs. They got sleeping bags. Like, they're comfortable. But your adrenaline is just firing, and so everybody's talking, strategizing, because the second obstacle, the one that I fell on, that was a new one that season. So for hours.
Which one was it?
The Big Dipper.
Okay.
So you grab the bar, go down, launch.
Oh, yeah.
Brooke actually, her boys are huge Ninja Warrior fans, so they, bless their hearts, drove out to Kansas City. Drove 10 hours, got there 2 hours before, they got there really late, 10 o'clock, and then I didn't run until 4:45 in the morning.
Wow.
Took the boys to the car to sleep for an hour, and then we thought I was going to go, and so huge fiasco, them trying to run back, and they were there through the whole night, and I had the best time, and it was amazing that they were there.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So they finally call your name.
Yeah.
Right?
So
what's that process? So
they call your, they start, I think they called like 5 names to, like, so you know that you're given a number. I should say that. You're given a number, like when you go and sign in at your call time, you're given a number, but none of us know how they select the numbers. So you're given your run order, and then throughout the night they'll call, take the next 5, and then they take you from the Ninja Pit, and then you go behind where the set starts, and then you're back there for another half hour. And then once they have you get on stage, like, there's all these different checkpoints. So they have, like, I think it was like 3 lines. Like, they have you stand here, and they're like, wait. And then they advance you to this spot, and then they hold you again. And they're like, okay, run up the stairs.
I would be exhausted by this point.
Oh, and mind you, it was 4:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, so you're not sleeping. You're not on your, like, yeah. And so it's like I know so much more now than I did going into that. So, and what's also interesting too is they pipe in so much of the music or the sounds and the crowds, and so, like, you don't hear the beeps that you hear at the beginning of each run. They don't have that when you're there, and the buzzer. Then they have the smoke, but they don't have the buzzer. But they have a gong. They hit a gong every time somebody's about ready to go, so the audience knows that somebody's about ready to start.
So focus and look like you're engaged. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you're walking. Tell me if you can. I'm trying to remember. So you're walking up on the steps. Mm-hmm. About ready to go.
Point,
what are you thinking?
I'm like, this is when my nerves should be kicking in. I wasn't as nervous as I thought I was going to be at that point. And I think at that point I'm like, okay, I'm ready just to do this. I've been out here for 10 hours, and I felt bad because my dad's fallen asleep, and he's been out there just as long as I have. Brooke's there with the kids, and you know, and so all I kept saying, like, as a soccer player especially, like, you cannot go out on this first obstacle, just like the agility one. Like, as a soccer player, that's where I should be the most comfortable,
that's when you
right?
jump on the
quintuple
angle.
steps,
Yeah.
So I took my time getting through those. Again, so I had never been on anything like that.
Yeah.
And we have them in the gym now. I just fly through them.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it was great. But what's so amazing about this community of athletes is everyone is so fired up to see you do well. They want to see you do your best. They're cheering for you every step of the way, and they're just as vested in it as you are. And you know, even though you're technically competing against them, it's more like you're competing against the course. But everybody's on your side and wants to see you do well.
That's cool.
Which is awesome.
So you said in that run you got to the second obstacle and then you fell?
I just failed.
Yeah.
And I said going into it too, I'm like, if you're gonna fail big. I couldn't even. It just happened so fast. I couldn't even make it good. It was that bad.
So I always think like I'd come out of the water so bummed out. Like, how did you feel?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's probably a good thing that the camera. I don't think the camera was on. It didn't matter. My run wasn't aired, which is good. But I swore and slapped the water.
Yeah. So that was 2 seasons ago?
That was season 7. Yeah.
Okay. So, do you want to get on the show again?
Yeah. I mean, I think so. No, I do.
Yeah. How does that?
I do want to get on.
Because I think the video you have that I'd love to put in the show notes that I think is on Vimeo, was that your interview
was
for the following season?
8.
Okay.
The one with my brother?
Yeah.
That was season 8.
Okay.
What do you see kind of developing in the sport? Like, what do you foresee, like, new obstacles that they may be looking into, anything like that?
Oh yeah, they are always looking to see how far they can push it. I don't know if you watched this season.
It felt like there was a few that were just unfair.
It was insane. They're constantly building new obstacles. You're going to see new obstacles every season. You know, even this year they changed up the quintuple steps. They made them those ascending steps to the rope ladder, to the rope.
Do you guys hear any of this? Like, is there like I know this sounds
We
stupid.
try.
Is there like an American Ninja newsletter that goes out to
There's
all
not
past
a newsletter, but
yeah.
they're like, we try.
What's your training process like now?
So now it's a little different story. So I last year I was coaching. I was training out in Carroll Stream at a place called Chicago Ninja Academy. I train with Ethan Swanson, Dan Palizzi, and Brandon Mears at Towers of Power.
And these are all well-known
local
ninjas.
guys, yep.
Yeah.
And Michael Salenzi and Tyler Yamaguchi.
Let me just stop you really quick now. So for those who aren't familiar with the American Ninja culture,
Yes.
right? So now there are ninja gyms
Yes.
that it seems like a lot of past participants have helped start, but there's
Absolutely.
also many who probably have never participated
Yep.
who just are making it. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And so, you know, I was approached by a guy here in Chicago about a year ago. Wanted to open a kids gym because kids, as you know, love it.
Yeah.
They cannot get enough of this. And like, to go back to Brooke, I mean, her kids are scaling the walls in her house, like I'm sure many other kids across the country. And so Jeff Pijek, who is him and his wife Jackie, the owners of Junior Ninja Warriors here in Chicago, he reached out to me and said he wanted to start a gym for kids. Their daughters go to birthday parties and gymnastics and the parties at the trampoline gyms, and he's like, we need something else. And so he has done a phenomenal job. Like, he has spared no expense. Everything is top notch. And so we opened in September, and I helped get Ethan involved at the last minute. He quit his job and is now at the gym full time as our course operations director. And so him and I put together the curriculum. He's doing actually more of that now. And then I'm just coaching on Mondays and Thursday nights, which is so much fun. And it's cool to see the kids just fired up, and not having kids of my own, it's fun to see them, challenge themselves. And
now, you're not going to hurt my feelings, but who do you think would do better on a course, Wills or I?
Me.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, so that's cool. So this whole adventure has become a part of your life now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so much of it has been, and it's kind of crazy to see how this, I guess, journey has kind of evolved, and all from my friends sending me this video, and it's like this has now become, I'm here at my job. I love my job, but this is like my passion outside of work. And Ethan and I, we train together Tuesday nights usually.
I think Wills is alluded to, like, so what's your regimen now? Like, if you were to amortize the whole year, do you train ninja style like a couple hours a week and teach, or how does that work?
So, I mean, your body's going to break down if you train ninja 100% of the time, right? And especially me, like, I'm one of the older ones. I'm 39, I'll be turning 40 next year. And, Ethan is, I think he's 26. Dan and Brandon are mid-30s. So, and we try and do, like, all of us together on Sunday nights at Junior Ninjas, because it's a kids gym, but we can make it plenty hard enough for us. And then Ethan and I usually stay and train on Tuesday nights. And then I still do your traditional gym workouts, high intensity and interval stuff, and need to start getting some more cardio back in there. But as soon as I hit that submit button, that mentally I know, like, okay, it's go time.
Yeah, because then you theoretically have 3 months, right?
Right.
Yeah.
My name is Karen Sabo, and I'm ready for redemption on Season 8 of American Ninja Warrior.
I think you're alluding to it earlier, but you talked about it in your video that your brother ended up passing away, and was that in between the two seasons?
Yes, that was August of 15. So died of a heroin overdose, August 14th of 2015. So that was rocked our worlds.
Yeah. Did he live in Illinois? Or?
He was in Wheaton.
Okay.
He was in Wheaton.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, for those listening, watch the video. It's really powerful, and you'll see. Sable, you're pretty much a badass. I mean, I can't even do a pull up, and of course, everyone who watches the show thinks they could do the show.
And it was the people that are really good make it look so easy.
Yeah. So, okay, the next season that's coming up, season 10?
Season 9.
Season 9?
Season
okay.
9.
Have you started that process already?
Casting process for season 9 is underway. We need to have everything in by January 2nd.
How are we doing? Because the deadline's coming up.
Deadline is coming up. My essays are done. Just waiting on the video, which we should have by the end of this week.
Awesome.
So, Karen's application is in, and we're eagerly waiting to hear back, right?
Yeah, and whether or not she makes the next season of American Ninja Warrior, it doesn't really matter. Karen is just such a badass lady, and she is currently going around the country and spending a lot of time in ninja gyms in Chicago, helping kids and others, kind of pursue a healthy, challenging, fun lifestyle. Yeah,
it's pretty awesome. It's always a pleasure, Karen, and we look forward to seeing you potentially on the screen, putting the rest of us to shame. This episode was sponsored by Ink Dot, allowing you to create custom prints on wood, metal, or choose from a variety of stunning materials. Their easy-to-use online tool lets you choose photos from your phone, Instagram, or Facebook for one-of-a-kind gifts. Did you mess up Valentine's Day this year? Ink Dot has your back. Ink Dot, a better way to print.
Check out Ink Dot at inkdot.com. We also want to thank our audio engineer, Steve Wick. Wills, Steve is like accomplishing that final obstacle.
The warp wall?
The warp wall.
The warp wall.
Thank you, Steve.
I choose not to run.
We also want to thank Sleepy at Last for providing the soundtrack for Design Of. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at designofpodcast and check out our website, designofpodcast.com. Guys, Justin, can I finish the...
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for being with us on season 3. All right, Justin, now you can go.
I was just going to say, well done, Wills.
Thanks. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next episode.